He flunked the test, and not just any test, and not just once.
But sources tell us that because of his connections to Sheriff Dan Houston's church, he got to take it again and again. News 13's Alex Tomlin is live in the Newsplex.
Dick, Jessica, you get one shot to pass a lie detector test during the BCSO application process. But last fall, one young man got 3. Kyle Schinberger hoped to don the beige and brown deputy uniform, but when the day came to take his polygraph test, sources say he was too nervous. This is a Bernalillo County deputy whose identity we are protecting.
They couldn't get a reading on him. They sent him away for a little bit, said go calm down.
The source says Schinberger returned later that day, but
they still could not get a reading on him due to him being so nervous. And in polygrapher terms, that's a fail.
A fail means you're out of the program, and there's no chance of becoming a deputy. But Schinberger's story doesn't end here. Sources say that could be because his father, Todd Schinberger, has connections to the sheriff.
It's well known his dad is on the Board of Governors at the church, Board of Governors, and it's also well known that the sheriff is also a member of that church.
Legacy Church, that is. The West Central mega church that's made headlines lately. The source says the younger Schinberger was sent to another polygrapher to take the test a second time.
He was able to take the test and outright failed it.
The source says most of the time when someone fails,
they're leaving something out of their background that they don't want anybody to find out.
The source says despite 2 fails, Schinberger was given the test again.
The third time he came to the polygrapher, was actually able to take the test and actually pass the test.
But the source says this time Schinberger divulged something on his background sheet that he had failed to mention the first 2 times. The source says this time Schinberger admitted to defacing a Buddhist monument.
That's actually a hate crime. It's a federal offense.
And no one could overlook that. The source says Schinberger was disqualified right there. The source says he believes Schinberger only made it that far because of his connections.
This is the only person that we can find who actually failed the polygraph and was allowed to come back and retake the polygraph.
I left several messages for the department spokeswoman only to later find out she wasn't at work today. The undersheriff declined to talk to me and pointed me back to the spokeswoman. The sheriff is out of town and an assistant said she would not call his personal cell phone, but I did. He never called me back. Jessica?
Okay, Alex, Sheriff Houston took some heat last year when he held a graduation ceremony for deputies at Legacy Church. Critics said whether he meant to or not, it seemed like he was pushing his church on his workers, something the sheriff steadfastly denied.